For more on these and other matters arising ahead the Osun election, let's talk to the Executive Director, YIAGA Africa Samson Itodo, who joins us live from Osogbo. Your organization has warned that activities of political thugs, as well as quite a number of other factors, could threaten the credibility and peaceful conduct of the forthcoming election. You actually made mention of cultist activities. You've also did mention that you've witnessed some voter inducement, which characterized activities of political parties ahead of this election. Let's begin with the latter. You saw what happened in Ekiti and how security operatives were fingered for looking away while all of this was happening. What have you seen to be different as regards preparations of stakeholders, INEC, policemen, and the rest to ensure that this doesn't repeat itself come Saturday?
Well, thank you very much and good evening. What is different from the operational plans of both the police and INEC to stem vote buying on election day? I think the rhetoric has been the same. There's nothing particularly different from what we have heard in Ekiti. The police, we were in a meeting with the DIG and the police commissioner, and they gave every assurance that they were going to reprimand any individual that was involved in vote buying on the day of elections. And when we went to the polls on Saturday in Ekiti, we still saw cases where votes were traded at the polling station. Yet some arrests were made, and the most prominent one was the one by the EFCC. And we've not heard any information about the prosecution of those individuals who were arrested in Ekiti. So yesterday we were in a meeting with the DIG again, and the police gave every assurance that they are committed and willing and determined to stem vote buying tomorrow. We give them the benefit of doubt, but I do have cautious optimism as to the determination and the commitment to stem this menace. I think we're going to go to the polls tomorrow. People are going to trade votes. Politicians will attempt to buy votes. I think we will see this happen in the full glare of police officers, and there's no need romanticizing this conversation. But the police can redeem itself, by working with other stakeholders to arrest, everyone. It doesn't matter what political affiliation that they have, be it the ruling party or the opposition party. Anyone that is involved, in vote buying and selling, they should be arrested and they should be prosecuted. I think that the police does have an opportunity, and not just the police, the EFCC, the ICPC, who have deployed, for this election, they do have an opportunity to instill confidence, on the part of Nigerians that they are determined to eradicate this cankerworm that is eating deep, in our electoral.
A certain women group, we are told, is now volunteering to call out those who would attempt to buy vote tomorrow. We'll see how all of that play out alongside collaboration with security operatives. But you also raised the issues of insecurity. When you see or when you saw the show of force by the 21,000 personnel of the police, 12 out of the 15 candidates signed a peace accord, does that quell your worry to an extent?
Well, the show of force is part of the sort of rules of engagement that the police engages with at elections. So there is nothing particularly new about the show of force. They see it as an opportunity to announce their appearance. They also see it as a strong message to mischief makers and people who want to undermine the political process. The truth is, in places where we've seen, or in elections where we've seen violence, where we've seen thuggery, the police still, performs this show of force. And so I don't see how that sends a strong message. But the good news, and we were quite elated this evening, to hear that the police did arrest some cultists. Today, they conducted an operation and they arrested some cultists. They've also tried to mop up some small and light weapons, which is consistent with YIAGA Africa's report about the increased activities of cultists. So it is heartwarming to hear that the police have arrested these individuals. We hope that they will effect more arrests so that talks do not prevent INEC from deploying tomorrow or even disrupt elections and thereby undermining the votes of the people.
Absolutely.
But more importantly, as we've seen in previous elections, that some talks actually operate with protection of state security forces.
Okay.
And we hope that this will not be the case in this particular election. The people of Osun are ready, they are willing, they are determined, to vote at this election for a preferred candidate of their choice. 75.6% of them have collected their PVCs and they are getting ready to vote tomorrow.
We'll see how all of that play out, Mr. Itodo, particularly also counting on election observers like you to report what you see on the field. Samson Itodo is YIAGA Africa Executive Director and it just is live from Osogbo. Thank you for talking to us at the news tonight.
Always a delight. Thank you.